Dave ain't saying nothing. Hello, Dave. Can you hear us? Can anyone hear me?
Yep.
All right. Well, Dave's broke. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show where we break the show. I had some pre-show problems. I still got ain't all set up. But alas, we are here. Man, what a weekend.
Indeed, indeed.
Taylor always with the witty banter.
Well, I mean, I've my weekend has been Tomato Fest and D and
Oh,
D.
that's fun. That's fun. Hey, Andy's checking in. Hello, Andy. Andy had a stream the other night on the Outright Geekery group. Very fun. Yeah, we got a lot of comic book shit. Really, no She-Hulk. She-Hulk next week, right?
Yep. I think the 18th is when it's supposed to come out.
Very exciting. It looks very horny. I'm very excited. Looks like it's gonna be super hot.
Oh, setting some mood lighting. I see.
Yeah, I'm talking about She-Hulk. We get the green.
Seems appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll talk about that. We got another little green guy to talk about. It's not really on the agenda, but we'll mention him. And then a bunch of comic one hits. Just quick shit. Back to our disgusting food news this week, and man, it is gross.
I just wish there was more not gross food news. Like
Well, we had a good one last week.
yeah, but
Okay, but man, there's two gross ones. Will you
it
take your
seems.
pick? One of them might be good. One of them might be fucking disgusting. You
Oh,
get
that
to
hasn't
take your
how it's
pick.
been lately. It's
Yeah, you
been
get to
just
take your
wall to
pick.
wall grossness. But
There is a moment of destruction, but we don't have to really talk about it. It's more uh, Hasbro dude, VP of Global Publishing at Hasbro, did a interview and talked about really nothing. Really, just said that, oh yeah, we are moving the license away from IDW. He didn't say where it's going. He didn't say what they were going to be doing. He said
wait,
there was
was
going to
that
be
never officially confirmed? I thought that was like
no. It
public
was a,
knowledge for a while.
it was officially confirmed, but this is the first time they've commented on that initial confirmation. But really, they didn't say anything. They didn't say much of nothing. So whatever they
Oh
think.
well.
So, but some good quick hits. Just some news. Again, it's been light, man. Summer. We got cons coming up where everybody's saving their wad, so they can spit shit at the cons. And I get it. I get it. We're not even going to get into the acetate cover nonsense. You hear about this?
About
Somebody
what?
take somebody taking like old Marvel books and slapping a new cover on them and then calling them newer. And then CGC, the grading company, kind of getting over on people. It was a big mess, but anyway, we're not even getting into that. So yeah, that's the show. Anything else you want to add? Nothing.
Oh, can't really think of anything. I'm afraid.
Let's do it. Dave will be here. Oh yes, he will. Oh, look, I had the previews one on the whole time instead of the pre-show one on the whole time. Damn it.
Certainly does suck.
Yeah, we're proving it. We're proving it. It certainly does.
Well, it's all flying together here at the last minute.
Yeah. Man, there's also Trip. He's a buddy of mine. He's going to start streaming on the Nerdy and Dirty Facebook group. I told him he's the hottest ass over here to the Outright Geeker. Yeah. Greetings, Geek. Welcome back. It is another episode of this Geek and Comics Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit Talk Show.
It is the Gomer and Taylor. Probably about 5 more minutes.
Yeah, I mean, David was definitely chomping at the bit to get in here. I hope.
Yeah, Dave's really wanting to get in. He was here a minute ago, and then his audio wasn't working.
My computer is not registering my mic as connected.
Yeah, that's weird because I had similar problems actually. Before the show, which is why we kind of started late, but not really. But we'll do segment 1. I watched I Am Groot. It's pretty easy. It's only like 45 fucking minutes. It's like 6 10-minute episode shorts.
I didn't even know this was out.
Yeah, it's really good, dude. All the episodes are out, obviously. There's no like release thing. Very well done, solid animation. Stories are really silly and fun. It reminded me of and I don't even know. I might be showing my age, but I think it's pretty common knowledge that these used to be a thing. Back in the day before movies, they all showed cartoons. If it was a Warner Brothers cartoon, they showed the Warner Brothers cartoons. And so on and so on. Disney did the same thing. Even though MCU is technically not Disney. But honestly, these shorts, these Groot shorts, These could have showed up in the front of any Marvel movie for like the next 3 years. You know what I mean? And just done that. But
You
they
know,
got
that
too
might have been a
busy.
good way to do it. I mean, the
Yeah.
only people I know of who do that really anymore are Pixar.
Oh yeah, Pixar's really fun about it, but that's a little bit different. They're an animation company. Not that the MCU isn't 90% fucking animation anyway. It's all green screen. So it's technically animation anyway. But Andy said he chimed in. Good times for Iron Groot. It was, man. It was really fun. I could see that just putting it on in the background, and just
I'll have to
letting
give
it
that a
play
watch
and
sometime.
have fun. And it's really easy. I mean, it's literally like 30 minutes, dude. So,
Mm.
did you do anything cool this week? Anything worth mentioning in the segment one?
Nothing really in the nerd spheres, but
Okay.
play D&D, as per usual.
That's
But also
nerd.
went well. But then I also went to like the Tomato Fest, which isn't really
That's kind of nerdy.
kind
You
of,
know?
but
Yeah.
not really.
They have Mater, the tomato mascot, right? Dressed up as a tomato.
Not that I saw.
I don't know that they have that either
Yeah,
yet.
I'm pretty sure you're just talking out your ass.
So was there salsa and stuff? Were you throwing tomatoes at people? I've seen that. They do that in places.
They have done that before. As far as mostly this year
That
was just a bunch of music
awesome.
venues and like crafts stalls and
Oh,
things
that's
like
fun.
that.
That's fun. Awesome. That sounds like a grand old time. I like the Strawberry Festival in Portland. That's Dave's stomping ground. I wish he was here because he would mention that. I think they do that in the spring though, or maybe earlier in the summer.
I'm not counting Dave out yet. I think he'll make it.
And we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I blame myself. If I'd have started earlier, he'd be here.
That's true.
It is.
It
'Cause
is
he
often the case where it is
It
somehow
is.
your fault.
It is. I know. Anyway, let's do news. Kind of ironic. Earlier in the week, Dave chimed in on the this Geek and Comics Facebook message where Adam's in there too. I don't know why. He needs to get his ass back on the show. I'd love to have him on again. But anyway, and he's like, "Oh, check out this news from Valiant," and he's not here. He's the one who listens. But man, in the wake of layoffs, right? Valiant announced a bunch of layoffs. There was a rumor that Dinesh was going to maybe buy him up. We're not sure what was going to go on, but last week, Valiant Comics sent out a public relations email that was entitled "The Epic Future of Valiant Entertainment." But then CBR reported that this future entails only releasing one comic book a month. What? That does not seem epic. Oh, that's cool. Andy chimed in on local festivals. They had an Irish garlic festival. That's fun. Man, I love garlic so much. And the Irish are pretty cool as well. But anyway, yeah, Valiant in, I don't know, some turmoil, some transition, something is happening at Valiant Comics
If
that is not
scaling
great.
back is going to allow them to survive, I guess I am glad for that, but it's definitely not an encouraging sign.
Feels counterproductive to me. Here's more details. In the newsletter, Archer and Armstrong, which has been releasing, is going to be canceled with issue number 4. Yeah, the issue number 5 covers were shown off, and number 6 was solicited. The whole creative team was comfortably ahead of schedule. Plans changed late into the game and will now be stopping at number 4. That seems odd that they have books in the pipeline and they're like, nope, we're done. Why?
Man, there's a lot of that going around lately. Like
DC, right?
Yeah, people putting in the work and then just getting the rug torn out from under them at the last second here.
Yeah, it's wild. So we don't know when that's coming out. Bloodshot Unleashed is coming out September 21st. It's their first ever mature readers title, which is weird. Denise Camp, arts by John Davis Hunt. It's brutally unflinching examination of who the character is, set against a backdrop of violence that exposes his traumatic past by pitting him against deadly, rampaging monsters who reflect his own place in the Valiant universe. That's like the cookie cutter fucking Bloodshot story. Okay, that is nothing new. That is nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
out of the ordinary.
Bloodshot is not a particularly PG rated character in the first place. You know,
for sure. This issue, the first issue of Bloodshot Unleashed, is also getting whatever is a carbon fiber 1 in 250 variant. I don't know what that is, but good for them if they can get it. So there's also another limited series by Cullen Bunn happening at Valiant right now called Book of Shadows, and it's going on hiatus until January. That Shadow Man, Eternal Warrior, Punk Mambo, Dr. Mirage, and Persephone Cullen Bunn with art by Vicente Cifuentes. Exo Manowar Unconquered was another miniseries from Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, and Liam fucking Sharp. That was also teased, I don't know, as recently as last month, I think, for later this year. Now we don't know when that's coming out, you know? So I guess they're like, okay, we've looked at what 2023 is, and we don't have enough money to make any more comics. What? So we're just going to take everything that we have in the pipe and just spread it out until we can what? Until the economy's better? Until what? What are you waiting on, Valiant? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. There's a cover of Bloodshot Unleashed. It looks awesome, by the way.
That does look pretty cool, and I'm not surprised that if they're going to kind of bank on one character, Bloodshot is probably their most famous one. So that's
for sure. He's had the movie.
surprising.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, that came out at the worst possible time, though.
It really did.
Right as the pandemic was starting.
Even if they would have waited just 6 weeks and been like, no, we're going to be the first to hit a streamer. You know what I mean? It would have been made a bigger buzz than it did by just getting trashed.
Yeah. By the time that everything was coming, or really was falling apart, it was too late to stop the train. You know.
Yeah, Andy chimed in, unless they are selling. I mean, and they are. I've never met a Valiant fan who wasn't a diehard Valiant fan. You know, everyone I've ever met loves everything they put out, but it's hard to get those people to be excited if you're only giving them one book a month.
I mean, this screams of a holding pattern, you know? It seems like they are trying to do the bare minimum they need to stay open until they can... Andy might be right. They might be looking to, find a buyer. Maybe they're just trying to do some reorganizing. I don't know, but this is certainly not encouraging. But I do hope that if it can give them the time they need to get their shit together or figure out something to do next, then I hope that they manage to do that, you know?
I don't understand why they didn't do a movie. I don't understand why they didn't shop around for a streaming service to do, a Shadow Man or an Exo. Try to do some kind of shared universe. I don't know. You're never going to hit the success of the MCU with some substandard, and that's not a bash. That's just the way it is. Company, like this. That you're just not going to be able to do it. And
I mean, that's
get in where you fit in. You had a movie hit theaters. You've got something where your foot is, in the proverbial door. Connect that shit. You know what I mean? Give us a Vin Diesel after credit scene at the end of a Shadow Man or a Ninjak. Fucking Ninjak.
I was about to say Ninjak, I think, is probably the most bankable movie they could probably do.
Yes, dude. Yes. Dude, Ninjak's got a lot.
I mean,
you could do 4 movies.
It would be at least as good as that Snake Eyes movie that the GI.
Oh my god, that Snake Eyes movie was garbage. But yeah, it was watchable. I mean, I watched it.
It was resoundingly meh, and I'm sure that a Ninjak movie at first would be resoundingly meh, you know?
So we're not really sure what's going on. Dinesh, where are you? Come on, Dinesh, where you at? So still no Dave. Moving on. Murderworld is coming to Marvel Comics. It's game over for Marvel's heroes in Murderworld. Jim Zub, Ray Fox, Jethro Morales run wild with brand new saga centered around Arcade, one of my personal favorites. He's just big, dumb, and stupid. And Murderworld. Murderworld Avengers.
This is one of those things where it's surprising that they haven't done this before.
Yeah.
I know that Arcade usually fucks around with the X-Men, and then a few years ago he did a lot with the Avengers Academy kids. I forget what they called that. Avengers Arena, that's right.
Oh my god, dude, it was like Battle Royal for the
It was, that was brutal. They did not pull punches with that. I'm sure that this will probably not be that. They're not going to kill off any of the characters we see here, But
even if they do, it's going to be like a temporary, act sort of thing. But
this could be fun. But my main reaction upon hearing this is I guess they haven't already done this before at some point.
Exactly. A lot of Avengers books, but I think this is going to be like a series of one-shots where, it'll be the Avengers in there, but then they'll probably do like a Spider-Man, and then they are. It says right here they're going to do a Spider-Man, a Wolverine, and a Moon Knight, and then who knows? Maybe we'll get even more. So, yeah, that's cool. That's pretty rad. Dave, how's your audio, buddy?
I hope it's better.
Oh yeah, well done, Dave.
We talked about Valiant a little bit before that Murderworld news.
Yeah, you were the one who got the scoop for us here, but yeah.
Oh, just that they are. Did you already? What have you already talked about?
No, the whole thing. I just didn't know if you wanted to comment. They're doing one book a month for the foreseeable future. 2023 outlook for them looks to be very bleak. They're most likely looking for a buyer, probably. That's my guess. That's our guess, Taylor and I.
Well, I have to agree with that because if they're just willing it down to one book a month, then they're not long for this world.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know how you even keep the doors open doing that. 1 in 250 covers ain't gonna do it.
And then their Bloodshot book just sounds like a Bloodshot book. Nothing revolutionary about it.
Yeah, it sounds boilerplate.
Which Bloodshot's a good, fun character and everything.
He is.
It doesn't sound like this is going to be particularly different from any other Bloodshot book.
Yeah, that's kind of a shame because in recent years, Valiant has been really good, and to learn this kind of news. When they sold to
DMG, man,
they kind of went downhill. They did go downhill after that turn.
They're a strong contender for one of the best continuities, like shared universes outside of the big two.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's up-and-comers all the time. When Transformers was doing its thing, with the Hasbro Action Verse, it was up there. Radiant Verse, the Massive Verse, whatever the fuck
the Massive Verse is called.
It's dope now.
The Black Hammer universe.
Black Hammer's about to go away, but still, yes, agreed. And Mignola, has always got up there, but good choices. But we're on Murderworld. This looks like great. It's a series of one-shots where Avengers will go to Murderworld, then Wolverine, and then Moon Knight, maybe Spider-Man. There you go, Murderworld. That is November 16th, y'all. Again, Jim Zub and Ray Fox writing with Jethro Morales doing the art.
Well, Jim Zub's going to have a good time.
Yo, he always has a damn good time. He's usually really fun with these creative, weird sort of team books, even though it's not really a team book. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited. Moving on, Kal-El is coming back. He's been on Warworld for a little over a year, and they're going to do a one-shot entitled Superman Kal-El Returns Special #1. The Boy in Blue's coming back to Metropolis after hanging out in Warworld. Mark Waid, Cena Grace, Marv Wolfman, and Alex Segura, with artists Max Raynor, Dean Hospiel, Jack Herbert, and Riley Brown. And he's going to reunite with Batman and the Justice League and even Lex Luthor. Biggest takeaway from here is, we knew this was going to happen eventually.
Well, sure, of course.
But this sort of ruins Dark Crisis a little bit. It sort of ruins Warworld ending.
You know that the Dark Crisis stuff was never going to stick permanently.
Still could have been a crisis.
It does seem like they're not going to have any sort of year without the Justice League aftermath type of thing. So that is true. They have definitely tipped their hands about that. That was a really rad cover. This one's not bad, but I did really like that one of him in orbit there. Sounds like a cool creative team. We've, of course, been enjoying the Son of Kal-El book here on the show, and I am certainly convinced that they could have room for both,
Oh, I agree. That's my next comment, but I'll just continuing. This special will also detail the circumstances of how Superman came to be captured by Pariah in the Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths event. So maybe this is happening in the same, maybe this is like a prequel, these are the events just before Dark Crisis. We're still not 100% sure. DC is also teasing Action Comics 1050 as a milestone issue with both Superman and Son of Kal-El and Action Comics building to the issue in a crossover arc entitled Kal-El Returns, which will run in Action 1047 to 1049 and Son of Kal-El 16, 17, and 18. I don't know. Are they suggesting that Tom Taylor is taking over Action Comics after the World shit is done? I don't know. I'd be okay with that. I would love that. Anyway, a throwback cover here. Probably my favorite cover of the three for that special.
Oh, well, that's genuinely sweet.
Yeah, very. That is a Mario Focchio. Sorry, I'm fucking up that name. There you go. Very fun. Dave, anything on Superman and Superboy?
Not a series I'm reading, so I really don't have much to say about it.
And Superman coming back, Kal-El coming back, it doesn't interest you in picking up the book at all?
Well, I haven't been reading any of the Superman series. Anything in the Superman series.
I haven't been reading War
Well, the
shit.
point of this is that they don't care if you've been reading that. This is supposed to be
bring you in.
I might
Any
look at
interest
it.
at all in jumping
I might
on
pick
a
up
Kal-El book?
the book where he returns, but
The special.
I won't make any promises beyond that.
100% agree. I'll pick up the special, but I don't think I'm going any further than reading the John Kent book.
Superman's always a character that I will give like a fair shake to whenever there's like a new creative team on it.
Yeah.
The special sounds good, with Mark Waid and all that. Have they announced who the ongoing creators are going to be?
No, that's the problem. They haven't announced because that'll be a December solicits. From my understanding, there are no creative teams announced or creative team changes announced for any of this.
I'd want to hear who that was before I, know whether I'm excited about
the
the
main
ongoing.
Superman book or the main Action Comics book gets a new creative team. Depending on who it is, yes, I will possibly pick it up. If it's Tom Taylor, I'm definitely picking it up. So, that'll be fun. Traditional role. But again, Taylor alluded to it. I hope this doesn't hurt the Son of Kal-El book because I fucking love that book. It was this issue this week was fucking amazing.
I will point out, though, that the issue this week does seem like they're giving themselves like an exit point, potentially. They're like coming to an end game of the current conflict.
And that was one of my beefs about the book. We'll talk about it, but it was spinning its wheels for a few months. So we'll talk about that later, though. All right, moving on. Greg Pak is returning to Planet Hulk in a new sequel series. There is a catch. So Manuel Garcia, Planet Hulk World Breaker in November. Of course, in 2006, Greg Pak, along with artists Carlo Paglawan and Aaron Poresti, crafted Planet Hulk. Also with Bendis. This is all part of the Decade of Decadence where they had to get certain players off of the board in order to do the things that they wanted to do. You cannot have Hulk on Earth if you want to have a civil war. Hulk will always win. You can't, it's
they definitely
some really OP characters.
They definitely moved all the heaviest hitters who have any sort of affiliation with the Avengers.
Yeah, remember they destroyed most of the X-Men.
Thor was dead.
Thor was dead. Yeah, dude, there were a lot of shit going on. So this 5-issue limited series will take place 1,000 years into the future and present a shocking expansion and culmination of the mythos of Sakaar. And Manuel Garcia, he's the Devil's Reign artist. So, Planet Hulk, it's a masterpiece. It's a poetic. It's like Shakespearean almost, dude. It's like this grand, epic tragedy. Love is found and lost. It really runs the gambit of storytelling in a nice little compact Hulk story. It's great. The lead into it with the Illuminati is fucking wonderful. The lead out, where they go right into World War Hulk, is one of my favorite events at Marvel at all time. So it's the whole package, Planet Hulk.
It was really one hell of a run that Greg Pak had with Hulk.
That was a good run.
My main takeaway right now upon hearing this, though, is that, God, that really was like 16 years ago now.
Yeah, that was in 2006. Man, there were so many good events that decade. So many good events. But I'm a little bit worried about it being 1,000 years in the future. What? Is Hulk really going to be there? Or
are we looking at Descendants of the Hulk?
I like the story, but I don't know that I like the setting enough for that to be like the only reason to pick up this book,
Yeah. And why the hell are there Sentinels in the background on the cover?
Yeah, good question. What the hell do they even have to do with the Hulk? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Are there time travel shenanigans?
Yes, time travel shenanigans.
Well, that would definitely tie the X-Men into it.
Yeah, so I lived and breathed this event when it was going on, so I'll pick up the first one for sure, but 1,000 years in the future really throws me off. It feels like it's just going to be so far detached from the original story that I'm not going to give a shit.
Maestro will be there.
Oh, fuck that. I'll definitely drop it if Maestro shows up. I hate Maestro so much. So dumb. Anyway, moving on to some DC news. The Green Lantern are going back to Dark Sector, but this time it's John Stewart. John Stewart, the Emerald Knight #1, a 48-page one-shot. Jeffrey Thorne, Marco Santucci, the same team that did the Dark Sector book that was just award-nominated, award-winning. Look at that fucking cover. So rad.
That's a nice cover.
Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah, so they're going back with John Stewart. He'll have to become something greater as he squares off against a god gone mad to save his fellow Green Lanterns and escape the Dark Sectors in a special one-shot this November. Reading Dark Crisis the past couple issues, especially the last one where there's a huge Green Lantern moment. Dude, I miss reading a Green Lantern book. I really do. Dark Sector was awesome, but it was a different take on a Green Lantern book. It sounds like this one, maybe they're trying to get back to a little bit more of the roots of the GL books, especially with this cover. You know, this cover looks so tactical. This looks like it's going back to John's War and before he was, in charge of the GL. It looks like it's doing a lot of shit in here on this cover, especially that isn't really talked about in the solicit or any of the news that came with it. So, yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm all over this.
Yeah, I'm eager to check it out.
100%. That's Tuesday, November 29th. A bunch of covers for that. There's a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 cover. So, yeah, look for that one. We will definitely be talking about that when it comes out. Finally, I mean, again, it's con season, so there isn't really a lot of news if there's not a big con going on. But we're getting a new Mark Russell book on Ablaze Comics called, here it is, Traveling to Mars. Mark Russell and Roberto Melli are traveling to Mars in a new series. Fresh off his Eisner Award win for Not All Robots with Deodata, he's traveling to Mars, a comic series set to be published by Ablaze in cooperation with Arancia Studio. Traveling to Mars tells the story of former pet store manager Roy Livingston, the first human to ever set foot on Mars. Roy was chosen for the unlikely mission for one simple reason. He is terminally ill and has no expectation of returning. Roy is joined on his mission by Leopold and Albert, two Mars rovers equipped with AI, who look upon the dying pet store manager as a sort of god. Against the backdrop of not only his waning days, but those of human civilization as well, Roy has ample time to think about where things went wrong for both and what it means to be a dying god. So it sounds like typical Mark Russell, pulling in societal shit. Oh, I grabbed two of those. Pulling in society and adding his own little bit of humor to it. And the pencils look great, great lines. Love that. Looks like a big, I don't know, in space, whatever. But awesome. I'm all over this. Mark Russell's a show favorite. And yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about this if
we can get it.
If we can get it. That's right. Because it's in a Blaze book. November 9th. It'll also be available digitally if you can't get a hold of it,
There's enough time to ask our.
Yeah, there's enough time to put an order in.
Yeah, there's enough time to request a copy.
Yeah, it's just been solicited, and that's kind of what we do here, especially on these low, short news weeks where there is nothing to talk about. We're still going to find something to talk about. So.
Actually, I still have a copy of the previews, so I can check and see.
Oh, you can just order it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just
I'll just
pop it.
Get in there and look and see what I can do.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so check those out. We will talk about those on the show, but now let's get tasty.
Yummy.
Andy chimed in November looking good. Dude, November is looking good. I don't know. It's not really a drought right now, but there's a drought of a lot of other things. It's a lot of event books right now. Everybody doing in the middle of an event. So, all right, let's do food news. They are disgusting. The Kansas City Royals baseball team has announced a new ballpark treat. It's the barbecue Reese's sandwich. It's mini Reese's peanut butter cups, pulled pork, Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and bacon.
Yeah, that's gross.
Taylor's vomiting.
That's very gross.
that is
vomiting.
Not a. If it didn't have the
Reese's cups, the candy. Exactly.
If it didn't have the candy, it would actually be pretty good. But I'm like wondering why the Aramark flag is on this thing.
Oh, that's who owns they're the sponsor of the Kansas City Royals.
I appreciate them having the courage to take responsibility for this
abomination.
This is two great things that go very poorly together.
No.
Oh, yeah. So the fact that the Twins go there at the end of the season, the broadcasters for the Twins taste tested that and said it's not actually that bad. I'm kind of on the fence with this one, if I'm being honest, okay? It's sweet barbecue sauce. So I can see there being that sweet element of
But you've got peanut butter and chocolate.
Even beyond the taste thing, like the consistency of this would be terrible. You've got like the barbecue, but then you've got like some like crunchy candy like sprinkled throughout it.
Well, maybe there's bacon in it too. The
okay.
bacon is also going to be crunchy. So maybe that'll sort of take the edge off of the chocolate crunch. But I would think the chocolate would melt just enough so it wouldn't crunch.
Yeah, wouldn't the chocolate?
Talked way just too the barbecue
about this
sandwich
on this melt the chocolate? I mean, wouldn't it just be like liquid chocolate mixed in with the barbecue
Dude, that's
sauce?
my thought as well, Dave. Once they wrap this up into like a foil wrapper, and you get it all the way back up to the upper deck because your broke ass couldn't afford seats because you had to buy a $15 Reese's peanut butter barbecue sandwich. By the time you got up there, right, all the chocolate would just be melted. And I'm not sure if
it's
if
not.
I could get
It doesn't.
fresh,
it's not very appetizing.
It doesn't seem
anyway. We try to work it out. It's still not appetizing.
All right, then we'll do our twofer for food news. Better or worse? Doritos has unveiled ketchup and mustard.
I thought this was a joke when I saw it. I seen this
ketchup and mustard. Ketchup Doritos and mustard Doritos.
I thought this was a joke when I saw it on Twitter.
Okay, so this isn't as bad as the other one, but
I don't know.
It seems weird.
Know.
Like I don't think I would want ketchup or mustard on my chips in the first place. So
French fries.
If this wasn't tortilla chips, I might not be.
Andy, just nope.
As opposed,
nope. Tom chiming in. Thanks for stopping by, Tom. Spicy mustard at that. That almost makes it better because the spicy is just gonna, kill everything else. But
if this was like Lay's potato chips, I might not be opposed to a ketchup potato chip.
I can kind of see what you're saying. Like people sometimes put the chips on top of their sandwich, which might also have ketchup on it. So
you're not wrong, or mustard,
but not tortilla chips. Yeah, that does kind of.
I think between the two options here, I'd be more willing to try these than I would be that pork burger,
that sandwich.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, I would try to eat some of these instead, even though I'd rather not.
I want a Reese's barbecue sandwich with a side of mustard and ketchup Doritos.
You fool.
Those are available online, $6 for a 9 1/4 ounce size bag. Limited quantities, so get them.
They're flying off the shelves, folks.
Shit. I don't know. We did have a moment of destruction, but it's just comic news, and there's not really much news there. It's really just IDW talking about moving books to another publisher. They didn't announce who. They did say they're going to focus on probably just 3 or 4 characters to start off to try to bring in new readers. But
it just seems weird for them to give an interview for, relaying news that broke months ago, and
not add anything to it.
Yeah, if you're going to give if you're going to give an interview, it's time to share some new information, which it doesn't seem what they're doing here.
Okay.
One thing they did say is Earthspark, which is like an animated thing for kids.
It's a new animated series coming out.
So we have confirmed that there will be all ages Transformers as well as the regular, reading Transformers comics.
So
that's really not much though.
I went looking for these ketchup Doritos on my phone.
Oh, did you find any for sale?
I found apparently this is not the first time that Doritos has done ketchup Doritos.
First time in America.
First time in America. I'm showing a lot of stuff for Canadian Doritos.
Yeah, that's weird. Canadians are weird. I mean, that's not a bash. Weird is good, but.
And you can buy these imported from Canada ketchup Doritos on Amazon.
Ooh, imported.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks, Dave. Let's do 3. Top 3. Oh. This is a weird week. They put maple syrup on hamburgers. It's true. They put maple syrup on everything.
Yes. Okay, I found them.
Oh my God, this dude's still in this net. Import me a barbecue peanut butter sandwich.
I can't do that. They're out of stock. They're out of stock.
Of course they are.
They're already sold.
Always late to the party.
The first website I found them on for sale. They're out of stock.
I'll go first. Deceased was good. Always good. Tom Taylor's always fun. Jurassic League, we'll probably talk about that again later. Big Dumb Stupid Fun. The Ward was dope. I think we'll talk about that. Judgment Day was just all right. I think this thing it's really big. The event is really big, but man, most of the stuff is happening in the tie-ins, and I have a big problem.
Yeah,
with that.
I mean the Judgment Day. I thought the last issue was a great start. I liked Oranos showing up, and I love the way they presented that as oh well, here he is, and then an hour later, And then I did enjoy seeing what happened in that hour over in X-Men Red. But
yeah, it seems like a bait and switch kind of.
Yeah, but this one, it definitely is a rather unfortunate development in here.
Yeah, Judgment, that's not my number 3.
Yeah, Judgment. I thought it was solid. Definitely just an honorable mention from me. Yeah. But it had that thing though, where like sometimes it feels like they're kind of creating this artificial conflict between the Avengers and the X-Men.
It's like wrestling.
They're abandoning us. Like they're going to go stop a fucking tidal wave, you asshole.
Yeah, it's weird. Predator was also a solid start. A little bit of filler in there, but definitely worth a pickup. I hope it picks up in issue 2. But my number 3 pick is 8 Billion Genies, number 4. It might be about time to retire this book. Every issue is better than the last. The premise is the 8 billionth person is born, and in that moment, everybody on planet Earth gets a genie and one wish, and mayhem ensues. It's basically a post-apocalyptic story. Yeah, dude, this was like the superhero issue, man. Everybody who's like superhero is going up against everybody who wanted to be a supervillain. A big reveal on who the bartender is. Spoiler alert, he's a genie.
Well, that does make sense because he is the one who recognized right off that this genie thing is not a thing you really want.
Yeah, it's bullshit. And then, first 8 weeks, everything is fucked. So we're basically over the hump in terms of how this story is going. The way the main guy, the bartender, put it is like, first we got the age of the superheroes, and then we have the age of the planners. So now we're in the age of the planners, the people who really put some thinking into what they were going to do with their wish. And Andy Genies is his number 1 book from the chat because it's amazing. It is. Dude, I'm retiring this book. It could be number 1 every damn month it comes out because it's just better and better and better. 4 issues in, and I'm really pleased. Has been picked up for an adaptation. I think it's going to Amazon. We'll see. But I love Amazon, so we'll see what happens. Cool. That was my number 3. Taylor, going around to the end.
All right. Honorable mention for Judgment Day was pretty solid. The Ms. Marvel Wolverine there wasn't much like meat on the bones, but it was a cute story.
That's my number 1 pick this week.
Okay. All right. Well,
we'll talk about it later. I loved it.
It was very charming. So I'll leave it at that for now.
It was.
Punisher number 5 was okay. Getting more of that flashback Frank stuff.
Everything but that was great, and that reveal at the end of Ares. What?
Yeah, Ares with like the Punisher emblem on was kind of fun, and like, and like the evolving dynamic between Frank and the Hand is continuously fascinating.
Yeah.
Last honorable mention for Son of Kal-El. Like you're saying, we are kind of coming up to the climax here, at least of the current story arc.
Man, I don't know what the fuck you got on my list because Son of Kal-El is on my list too this week. It was
okay. Really all right. Well, you mentioned one that was on my list, but I'll get to that in a minute. My number 3 is going to be Avengers number 59.
Nice.
I'm enjoying the big, dumb, stupid fun of let's go to different eras and have like wonky Marvel bullshit,
It's like Marvel's version of Disney World, and here's a world, and here's, Frontierland, and it's fucking stupid.
Last week with like the Ghost Rider Ronin writes itself. It's big, dumb, stupid fun. And now we've got a Phoenix Cowboy and a Star Brand Cowboy. They're
duking it out.
Reno Phoenix and the Star Brand Kid. So
it's so weird. But it's just Jason Aaron having big, dumb, stupid fun, dude.
This is like peak Jason Aaron-ness, He's like he's writing these over the top, just fuck it, it's cool, just roll with it type of things,
Yep.
But
great.
It's a real blast, and that's enough to get it on my top 3 this week.
Nice, great pick. Big D, honorable mentions, number 3. I don't know what the hell this dude picked this week.
Okay, honorable mention number 1 is Judgment Day, number 2.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were even on this anymore.
Well, I was reading it just in case you guys were picking it, so at least I would know what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Big, dumb, stupid fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Fun action, big action scenes. I mean, that's the last time we're going to mention it because we all 3 of us have mentioned it. But the art in this by Valerio Schiti was fucking awesome, dude. I mean, look at that at the end.
That final panel where the Celestial
Tony
is
Stark, Celestial,
be like, cool. You will be judged.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. All right, and my other honorable mention this week is The Deadliest Bouquet, number 1.
was all right.
It was all right.
There's some potential.
There's potential. Yeah, like you said, there's potential there. Kind of off to a slow start, but
very slow.
But at the end, we start getting some places.
Yeah.
So, I'm on it. I'm just waiting to see where it goes.
Good choice. Good choice.
All right, my number 3 pick is Jurassic League number 4.
Nice.
That's my number 2.
Nice. I figured that would be. I know I got the image here somewhere. Go ahead.
Just more big dumb stupid fun. We have all these superhero dinosaurs preparing for greater evil that's coming. We know what.
Oh, he's come. He's there.
He's there now, and I am like Dark Ankyloseed, and I'm like,
I knew you would get off.
I was just like
stupid dinosaur name for Darkseid. I knew Dave's gonna eat that shit up.
I mean, of course it was gonna be Darkseid. I mean, that was easy to see.
I know, but
still, when he hatches out of the egg and he is like a fucking kaiju, like even amongst all these dinosaurs, just like towering over them.
Yeah.
That was awesome as shit. You know.
I
nice,
want
Andy.
a figure of Dark Ankyloseed.
Oh yes, dude! I heard McFarlane might do all these figures.
He should. These are a blast, you know.
Yeah, they are really cool.
This was just fun. I kind of enjoy the interaction between our Green Lantern Parasolphus and our Raptor Flash.
Yeah,
it's a great dynamic there, and Batman and our Bat Dinosaur and just making wings and flying off.
Yeah, like as big, dumb, and stupid as this is, there is a lot of fun character interaction as well, which is not what I was really expecting to enjoy in this book, But like Super Sor and his dad had a really sweet moment.
They did.
It's got heart. There's just enough heart in there, dude. It's Danny Warren Johnson. That's just the way he rolls.
Yeah, I mean, he has a talent for it. I mean, we talked at length about how Beta Ray Bill was like fucking balls to the wall awesome, but also like really unexpectedly heartfelt.
Yeah,
a lot of heart. It did.
Yeah, his Do a Power Bomb is rolling in that same direction, dude. Only 2 issues in. So yeah, he's awesome. His Murder Falcon did the same thing. It always kept you, on that same beat. So yeah. Great book, good choice. Moving on, my number 2 is my number 2 are so weird. I feel like I'm a 10-year-old boy again. Son of Kal-El, number 14. Tom Taylor, Sean Torme, and Rafael Sarmiento did this cover, which I love. Man, fantastic, action-packed, heartwarming. The Revolutionaries are in it. Fucking Robin is fucking in it. There's a full assault on Bendix in this, which I fucking love. There's some great commentary going on with that full-on assault. That fucking cliffhanger, what? That cliffhanger, holy shit. This issue had it all, and it is about fucking time. Because like I said, the past few months, dude, this book's kind of been spinning its wheels, repeating itself.
I mean, certainly it's had a lot of good character moments and a lot of like pretty cool, like, oh shit, that was awesome moments. But yeah, I agree with you that I am definitely glad to see them like finally pull that trigger and like start this big conflict with this asshole.
Yeah, this is about toppling a tyrant and freeing the country. I mean, he's getting political, deep political in this. I fucking love it. It's the way it's been the whole time. Damien just showing up, I
like how he like snuck on. Yeah, they're like, we're in a sub. How the hell?
Yeah, we're in a submarine. I liked Jay doing Jay's thing.
I like the panel just before this where John's all like, I know this was the plan, but I'm afraid for you to go in danger. And he's like, well, then I'll be the one to let go. And just like phases through his arms and like starts to drop.
Yeah, power. He's got a flight ring now, for like a Legion flight ring.
Yeah, I also liked how they actually are addressing like why isn't Superman just doing this on his own? They do a good job like addressing that.
Yeah. They also do a good job of actually saying that no, Superman's not doing it on its own, but you're still going to do it Superman's way. And even Damien, the voice of reason, Damien, Superman's doing it this way. It's the way we need to do it. Okay,
yeah.
So y'all shut the fuck up.
For Damien of all people to be saying that is very impactful. And I love how they played it in such a dynamic where well, you're the one who sucks if you don't do it Superman's way, right? Like, I love the line he gets, like, if you're not good enough to do this without killing people, then you're not good enough to come with us.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Also a big fan of the Revolutionaries. That happened in Tom Taylor's Suicide Squad run, which Taylor still has not picked up, that he definitely should pick up. It's very good. So yeah, that's my number 2. Son of Kal-El, number 4. Tom Taylor continuing to dominate over at DC Comics this year. T, number 2. I think
my number 2 is Jurassic League. So we've talked about that. Big, dumb, stupid fun, but surprisingly heartfelt, big, stupid, dumb fun.
Yeah. That leads us to Dave for number 2. I have no idea what this is. I have one guess, but go ahead.
My number 2 pick is Predator number 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice. I'm so happy we're going to get to talk about this a little bit.
I actually got that sweet Peach Momoko cover.
Nice. I don't have that up here. This is Ed Bryson and Kev Walker.
If you read any of the Predator books from Dark Horse Comics in the 90s, this kind of is in that vein. Yeah. But this is taking place in the future, which gives me hope for an Alien versus Predator Marvel that's
low hanging fruit, dude.
Yeah,
that's easy to do.
So they're gonna have to give that to us.
I would love to see a silent series where it's just them, the Alien and the Predator just doing their thing.
That'd be a good idea.
That does exist.
Nice. Tom, Predators was his favorite book of the week. He's got high hopes for it. I do too, man. Excellent choice.
That does exist in issue 0 of Alien versus Predator, the original
series. Man, what a couple of weeks the Predator franchise has been having here between Prey and this, both being pretty good, it seems.
It's true.
But
go ahead, Dave. What's the book about?
It's set in the I guess in kind of like the near future.
Yeah.
We have some explorers exploring a planet, cataloging new life forms and stuff, and a predator shows up and kind of kills everybody essentially. And the one sole survivor is been tracking the predator for this particular predator for years, but has become pretty proficient at killing predators.
Yeah. And it's a predator. It's a person hunting a predator looking for revenge.
Yes.
That's basically what it is. And it was really well done.
She has killed quite a few predators.
Yeah.
And
she's looking for a specific one.
She's looking for a specific one that she wounded, but she has, I don't know how many she killed, but there was when her AI was talking to her, she's like, this one exhibits patterns from Predator number 16. And I'm like, oh shit.
So she's been hunting for a while, dude.
She's been
Predator for Predators is a really fun premise for them.
It is, dude. I think this issue was solid. It was a great intro for the franchise at Marvel Comics. I think it's got a bright future. Like Dave alluded to, we are eventually going to see an Alien versus Predator book. I can't wait.
They even advertise a new Alien book in this book.
Yeah. But I had an issue with this book. There's about 4 or 5 pages where it just is a lull, where the bottom just drops out of the story, and I was bored. By the time we got to the end, I just think those pages could have been used a lot better. Maybe lean into this, 3-fanged, predator. Let's go see what he's doing right now. Just to lean into that a little bit. I think that would have been fun and really cheap to do. It's just 3 or 4 panels on a page. You don't even have to put any words. You don't need any dialogue. You just, whatever the predators, however the fuck they talk, and you want to put it on the panel. I just think it would have been better spent than giving us even more backstory into this character where we were given so much backstory and it just felt superfluous. It felt like the book repeated itself a couple of times. But again, I had a great time reading it. So good choice, Dave.
Thank you.
Taylor didn't read that. So I will finish. My number 1 book this week was a surprise to me just as much as everybody else. Miss Marvel and Wolverine, number 1. The reason why is this was written by Jody Houser, art by Zay Carlos. Now, Jody Houser wrote a book called Star Wars Age of Republic, number 1 through 9. And it was like a series of one-shots, basically from all over the Star Wars universe, in that time period. And it was fucking terrific. So I wasn't going to miss this. Excuse me. This is a team-up book, plain and simple. This is Kamala Khan. She goes to visit Seneca Park, where the X-Men have made their home. She sees a stupid robot go into the tree. And then the X-Men are like, what the fuck you doing? And then a big swarm of them comes down. And it's an old school team up book. Storm shows up. The X-Men. Storm shows up.
From Mars?
Yeah, of course. They can.
She even explicitly says, every time I come back to Earth,
Yeah. Dude, Monet shows up. Armor shows up. look at that. Look at the action on that page with Wolverine, going crazy with Storm. That is old school. Look at Armor in the background. Just awesome, awesome shit, dude. I had such a good time reading this. The next one is Kamala Khan and Moon Knight. Miss Marvel and Moon Knight. I can't wait.
Yeah, they seem to be doing the same thing with this as they are doing with Moon Girl right now.
The Devil Dinosaur book is a little bit younger. This is more middle.
Yeah, well, I'm saying what I mean is that like they're doing a thing where like they're having the character team up like with a new character every issue.
Yes, 100%.
I saw it listed for a Venom one.
Yeah, I think they're going to do a Venom one too.
On the main cover they showed pretty much the totality of it there, or at least a big part of it. They had the X-Men, Moon Knight, and Venom on it.
Yeah, this one.
But anyway,
not that one. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, very excited about this. Very cool.
Yeah, this was an awful lot of fun. I mean, I always love these more like lighthearted, charming type things. I wish there had been a little bit more interaction between Kamala and Wolverine, because that was the main thing I was looking forward to here. They had a lot of great interaction when they first teamed up in her book.
And they leaned into that. They
did.
That first.
They explicitly mentioned that. Really I always love it when you can tell that the writer did their homework,
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so yeah, that's my number one. That leads us to Taylor. What is your number one book of the week?
My number one book is Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, number 3.
Nice. Very well done, this book.
Yeah, this is basically one extended fight scene. Well, 2 extended fight scenes. One between Cap and Mystery Metal Man there, and another one between Bucky and Peggy Carter. This book has a lot of great action scenes. The scene in the middle where he's getting like the hologram message, it was such a beautiful panel layout. Like they were moving around the shield and everything.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was very cool.
Yeah, so I am always a sucker for sort of the corny Captain America. And this is corny Captain America, and it's okay for Captain America to be corny.
It is.
But I don't want corny to sound more insulting than I mean it, because like this is a Cap who is an idealistic guy who does genuinely want to do good in the world, and I think there's weaving a good story about him,
it's nice for
owning his own image, like he.
Yeah, it's nice for a Captain America book to be delivering hope again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andy's right. The artwork in this book is fantastic. Very well done. Yeah, 100%, dude.
Yeah, that was the main thing that broke the tie for it to be my number one this week.
Nice. Good choice. That can only leave one possible book for Dave to have at number 1 this week.
Hey!
It's an easy guess.
It was.
I know you. That's it, right? That's your number 1,
that's
right?
my number 1 pick this week.
It was either that or The Ward. The Ward was good, but it was not as good as Parker Girls.
Parker's Girls was really good.
Oh, man. It had a couple of twists and turns in this weird drama. I really didn't know where it was going, and it really didn't go anywhere at the end.
No,
it was wild.
One Parker girl got her man, and one Parker girl got done in by a man, I guess.
Yeah, it was weird, dude. But that's just the brilliance of Terry Moore, dude.
Yeah, so we get introduced, it starts off on a beach, and we get introduced to Mark, and we get introduced to our Parker girl in this story, and she's pretty much marked him, or he's marked because apparently he's a
thief.
He's a thief.
A dirty thief.
He is a thief. He thought he was dying of cancer, so he stole $10 million from his brokerage, and then it turns out that there was a mix-up in the test results, and now he doesn't have $10 million anymore because he did something. He lied about. He lied about that too, but
yeah.
But
Parker Girls, it's like Charlie's Angels, kind of.
I don't.
It's like more super spy than that.
I think the closest comparison that we could probably make about the Parker Girls and any other kind of pop culture reference that's current right now is the Bene Gesserits.
Maybe. Yeah.
They are women who are essentially there to steer the course of powerful men.
Yeah. But man, it's very well done.
But it was great.
Yeah, and it's that typical Terry Moore art, those clean fucking lines, just
And
ink, no colors at all.
Yeah, it's just ink, no colors, a story being told through the artwork, as Terry Moore always does.
Yes.
And I am curious to see where this is going to go and how it will connect with the rest of the Mooreverse.
Yeah, Tom chiming in the chat. As he said, he has to check this out. He loves Strangers in Paradise. Dude, you should also check out Echo. You should check out Rachel Rising. There's also a book by Terry Moore called Motor Girl, which is my favorite Terry Moore stuff of all time. Yeah, everything Terry Moore does is a fucking winner. I don't know why we don't have more screen adaptations of the stuff that's being done by Terry Moore. We should. Strangers in Paradise will make a perfect screen adaptation. I don't know why we don't have it.
Yeah, somebody needs to get on that.
Echo would be dope too, man.
Echo would be pretty much all of them would be dope.
Yeah, just great stuff.
But the biggest source materials are Strangers in Paradise and Echo, pretty much.
Yeah, there's Rachel
Rising is got a lot, but I think like Echo went for 100 issues.
I think it was about that, yeah. But Strangers in Paradise is like 5 volumes.
Yeah,
it's huge. It's so meaty. It's got so much going on in there. But yeah, great choice. I'm so glad Terry Moore got something on the shelves again. You know what I mean? Just really good stuff. Yeah, Andy chimed in about Motor Girl, about how much he loves it. Yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. So a fine selection of comic books this week. So diverse, all kinds of different genres, all kinds of different ages, all kinds of different tones and tenors. I didn't even mention the Ghost Rider book that came out that was just brutally violent. I Am Batman was great. I mentioned the new Deceased book, but we didn't really get into it. Man, it was a fantastic week of comics. So, thanks everybody for hanging out. Come back tomorrow. We're going to talk about all of the books coming out next week. There's just as many good books coming out. Well, maybe not just as many, but there's a lot of good books coming out. Come back tomorrow.
There is some good stuff coming out next week.
Yeah, there's definitely some good stuff coming out. But we also want you to check out the Comic Book Bullies. They will be on this Facebook channel later on tonight. They do a little bit later, but they also have on YouTube and Twitch and all kinds of other places. Go to outrightgeekery.com for links to all of the Comic Book Bullies stuff and also our stuff, our store, our Patreon, all of the social media. Just about everything we've got going on is linked up there. So, again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We really appreciate it. But most of all, thanks to these guys for hanging out with this guy.
Always a good time.
We are going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Oh, I gotta hit this. Almost forgot to hit the button.